Villa, chances of winning the Premier League 6%, City 20%, Arsenal 72%.
Is that in the last 5 games or in...
He's done so much for Liverpool, scored so many goals. City know how to win titles. Pep Guardiola knows how to win titles, and I think that's what it comes down to.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pint-Sized Presses brought to you by HaytersTV. We are in the fabulous location that is Box Bar Piccadilly in the heart of London. They have all the sport on. It's festive season. There's football, there's darts, there's everything. Get yourselves down here, do some karaoke, do some shuffleboard. It's the place to be this Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's your karaoke song going to be, Naayan? Are we getting into the Christmas classics yet?
Oh, not a Christmas classic. I reckon Little by Oasis. That's my go-to. What about you?
It's a good shout. I'm going to pick a Christmas song. I'll go for a bit of Justin Bieber, Mistletoe. There you go.
That's not bad. No, I wasn't expecting that.
It's another action-packed weekend of Premier League action this weekend. There's so many games. We're going to go through all of them. And as always, we have had our haters journalists around the grounds at the managers' pre-match press conferences. But without further ado, there's got to be a cheers. Cheers, Naayan. Thanks for joining me on Pint-Sized Presses today.
Oh, thank you. I've been looking forward to this. I'm finally on the show.
Oh, your big moment. Well, don't let us down. I'm sure you won't. Well, there is only one place to start, and that is tomorrow's match. We've got Chelsea against Everton as a 3 p.m. Now, Enzo Maresca, we'll jump straight into what he had to say, because he said he's not worried about Chelsea's form.
Why do you think you haven't been able to build on the momentum of that brilliant victory against Barcelona and such a strong showing against Arsenal as well?
For me personally, because it's football. For me, it's completely normal. Again, I understand that most of the time we are always looking for problems or things that we need to solve. But again, this game was last Wednesday. It's 8-9 days ago. And now in 8-9 days ago, we are not going to change our season because we didn't get the points that we expect, for sure. But I'm completely relaxed, I'm completely okay, because I'm sure that at the end of the season, we're going to be where we have to be.
Now, of course, Chelsea have lost midweek to Atalanta in the Champions League, and they drew 0-0 with Bournemouth in the last match day. Lost to Leeds before that, drew to Arsenal before that. How do you find their form at the moment? Because Maresca says he's not concerned.
Yeah, if you'd asked anybody about Chelsea after that Arsenal game, they'd just beaten Barcelona midweek, you'd thought that there's a title challenge coming there. Incredible team. They've just beaten Barcelona 3-0, drawn with the league leaders who are almost running away with it before that point. But for some reason, that Leeds game has seemed to knock them back a few pegs. And they really struggled against Bournemouth last week. And in the Champions League, although they started quite well in that match, and you thought, oh, Chelsea are back, they're going to beat Atalanta, they're doing really well in the Champions League. Suddenly, Atalanta came back and they scored quite late on. But I just don't know what's going wrong with Chelsea. I wonder if it's the injury to the back. Cole Palmer is back now, so maybe they'll be back in form this week.
Yeah, so much of Chelsea's brilliance we've seen recently has been as a result of Cole Palmer, right? So it's great to see him back. Well, for Chelsea fans, it's great to see him back. And I feel like, having Cole Palmer back for the festive season also makes a bit of sense. So hopefully he can stay fit throughout this big chunk of block of games, right?
Keep him away from FIFA is what I'm saying.
Keep him away from anything that could stub his toe. Exactly that. Well, it's not going to be an easy game. They face Everton, and this Everton side, they're in pretty good form, on a good run. They've won 3 of their last 4, only lost to Newcastle, although, Newcastle haven't been amazing in the league this season, but what do you make of this one? They're sitting 7th in the league.
No one saw this from Everton either, especially when you're talking about recent form. The way that they've been doing is absolutely brilliant. Some of their players, Iliman Ndiaye especially, but even their midfield, Ghana Gay as well in midfield. I just think that they're a brilliant team that have set up to do really well. And I think they're going to give Chelsea a really good game this weekend.
Okay, well, give me a prediction.
I wasn't ready for these.
You're not ready?
No, I wasn't ready. I reckon Chelsea is still going to win.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think Chelsea are going to win, especially if we see a bit of Cole Palmer. I feel like he might be getting back in on the action. And yeah, they're at home. On a bad run of form. They need a result. So I see Chelsea winning this one too.
Absolutely must win, I think. Must win for Chelsea.
You heard it here first. Must win. Okay, well, next up, Liverpool host Brighton. Now, this is another 3 p.m. game tomorrow. Now, Liverpool, the elephant in the room, although I don't really think it is an elephant in the room at this point. It's all that anyone is talking about, the Mo Salah situation. Now, I just want to shout out to the pint-sized pressers fans out there that I wanted to go for a pint with Mo Salah, a non-alcoholic pint with Mo Salah a couple of weeks ago.
It was just the one before this, wasn't
last
it? I think
week,
it was
sorry,
last week.
Only last week. Time flies when you're having fun. And since then, his comments about being thrown under the bus have come out. And I would have maybe got those comments from him if I'd have been allowed to go for a pint with him. Just saying. But, Nayam, what are you making of the Salah situation?
Yeah, well, he really did spill the beans. Not to you in a pub, unfortunately.
Not to me.
But in the mix zone after the Leeds match. And it was just so groundbreaking the way a player just came out in a mix zone and just said, I've been thrown under the bus by a manager. Why am I not playing? And many people, including Jamie Carragher, have been very out loud about this and saying that it was selfish of the player. But there's also the side that I take as well, is the player's side, where he's done so much for Liverpool, scored so many goals. It's just to think that a player like him maybe doesn't deserve to start every week, but deserves a reason for why he's not starting. And he didn't even come on in that Leeds game, and they didn't win. And he might have made a difference. He might have scored a goal. In the end, they went 3-2 up in the 80th minute. They could have easily pushed on for a fourth, and that would have been game over.
Do you see this getting resolved? Do you see the situation finding a resolution? It's almost, I know it's not quite on the same level as this, but the Marcus Rashford Man United situation, things went a bit sour, and then there was no coming back from it. Do you see that? Do you see Salah getting back in the squad?
I do think
the team, I should say.
Yeah, I squad. He wasn't in the squad for the Inter Milan game. It's an interesting one because I think it's very similar to the Rashford situation in the sense that one of them's got to go, or one of them has got to give. It's either Slaughter's got to give up. It's not necessarily his power, but his identity, and say, well, I've dropped Mo Salah, and he's come out and then spoken against me. I've dropped him from a squad, but suddenly it's all okay. And Salah's either got to apologise, which I still think that could be warranted. As much as I back that he should be playing, coming out against the manager is probably not the right way of going about it. And if there is an apology, he could definitely get back in the squad. But also, I bet he'd love to play in Saudi Arabia, and that might just be what happens in January. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it needs to come to a resolution somewhere. I don't really know who's going to back down, if anyone. And like you say, the January transfer window is just around the corner. But our reporter, Nazira Youssef, was at the Liverpool training centre earlier today, and she heard from Arne Slot talking about the Salah situation.
Liverpool fans, it's been quite a week, hasn't it? I've just been speaking to Arne Slot ahead of Liverpool's Premier League fixture versus Brighton tomorrow afternoon. This is what Arne Slot had to say.
You want Mo to stay here?
Like I said, another way of asking it, but the next time I talk about Mo should be with him, and I have no reasons not wanting him to stay, if that is a little bit of an answer to your question.
Well, form-wise for Liverpool, they had a good win against Inter Milan midweek. They face Brighton at home. How do you see this one going? Do you think they'll continue their winning form?
I'm not sure. They will. I think that they've done well in the Champions League. They've beaten Inter, apart from that PSV blip. They've beaten Inter, and they have beaten Real Madrid as well. But that form hasn't always translated to the league so much. So I think that Brighton might get the better of them this weekend.
Is that your prediction?
Yeah, I think that is my
Brighton win.
Yeah.
Wow. I am going to go for a Liverpool win. I see Liverpool winning this one. They're at home, and I think for Slot, it's a really important moment in this whole Salah drama to really knuckle down and be like, this is my team and this is what we're going to do.
Especially if it's 2 wins in a row without him, that would be really big for him as a manager.
For
definitely.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, next up, we have tomorrow night's kickoff, which is Arsenal against Wolves. Now, this really is top v bottom. The gulf doesn't get much bigger than this in the league.
Not at
Arsenal,
all.
who were flying until that loss last week, and Wolves, who are the absolute opposite of flying, yet to get a win this season. 2 points.
I don't see Arsenal stopping winning. They're so good. I think that even though they lost to Villa on Sunday, they look on Saturday. They look so good against Bruges in midweek, and it was just like that game hadn't happened.
Yeah.
And it took a Villa last minute goal. It wasn't like Villa played them off the park. Villa might have deserved to win, but they definitely didn't play them off the park.
Yeah.
And it wasn't out of sight. Arsenal don't get beaten out of sight these days. So I think that as much as they had that little blip, they're still the team to beat in the league, and they've got some brilliant players. Madueke was brilliant in midweek.
Well, our reporter James St Dennis was at the Arsenal training centre today, and he heard from Mikel Arteta.
James St Dennis here at Arsenal's training ground. We've just heard from Mikel Arteta ahead of Arsenal's Premier League clash against Wolves. Arteta spoke about bouncing back from the Aston Villa's defeat against this weekend's opponents, as well as giving an update on the quartet of players who have missed the previous couple of matches: Leandro Trossard, Jurgen Timber, William Saliba and Declan Rice.
In recent weeks, you've had a draw at Stamford Bridge, you beat Tottenham, and you beat Brentford. But obviously you've lost 2 of the last 5. I think obviously big defensive injuries as well. So because of that, partly because of that, the table based on form, so the last 5, the table is based on form, you'd be 7th, not even in the top 6. Is that good enough?
When?
The form table for the last 5 games, given those problems you've had and the results you've had, still you've only won 2 in 5.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow will change. We win tomorrow, and then it's a different one, and then in the last one we are the best, or in the last 2 or in the last 3. So we try to win every game, and that's the only thing that we can do in terms of being as consistent as possible.
All right, finally for me, it's about time we revisited the supercomputer. We love the Opta supercomputer. It's been a while.
Surprise me.
Villa, the chances of winning the Premier League 6%, City 20%, Arsenal 72%.
Is that in the last 5 games or in? I'm just asking,
Since the start.
Since the start till the end. Yeah. Okay.
Is that right? Is that about right? Do you think?
I don't know. The computer says it was the same that the computer said the last 5 games or the next 5 games. I don't know. The only thing that we can do is increase the probability of winning the next match by doing the things that we do really well and preparing the best possible way.
Mikel Arteta there being asked about his chances of winning the league. Some stats said it's 72%. Do you agree? Do you think it's more? Do you think it's less?
I think it's difficult to put a complete number on it, but they're definitely my most likely team to win the league at the moment. They just look, it's more that their depth and their squad depth. Every team is going to get injuries. City will get injuries at some point in the season. They have had injuries. Rodri's been out, and they've struggled without him. But the fact that Arsenal, when someone gets injured, Saliba and Gabriel, they're not playing. They've got Mosquera, they've got Timber, they've got Hincapié, and they've just got so many players to come in and play. There's Saka gets injured, they've got Madueke. Rice gets injured, they've got Marino and Zubamendi. They've got Jesus back now, which is going to be an even bigger a road of importance than I think people will think. It's just another striker that plays a completely different way, and I think the size of their squad is going to be so important and definitely most likely to win the league, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's still Arsenal's to lose, but I think City, and we'll come on to talk about City in a bit, but they're having a real resurgence, and you can never underestimate a Pep Guardiola Man City.
He definitely backs himself as well. He's been saying across the past few weeks, I know how to win titles, and he does. He's proved it.
Is that a sort of sly dig at Arteta?
It might possibly be.
I know. How to. Oh, absolutely. Well, Wolves yet to win a game. Give me a prediction. I feel like this might be your easiest prediction of today.
They're not going to start winning now, are they? I don't think so. I think Arsenal are going to win. What about you?
Yeah, it's got to be an Arsenal win. I think it's going to be a goal fest.
Goal
fest at the Emirates.
How many? Go on, put a number on it.
Oh, okay. 4 goals.
4 goals.
Is that a goal fest?
That definitely is. If they all go to Arsenal, that's
Yeah,
definitely a
let's
goal
go.
fest.
Go 4-0 goal fest. There you go. Well, Sunday, the action continues. We've got Palace against Man City, who we were just talking about. That kicks off at 2 o'clock. Now, this is 4th placed Crystal Palace versus 2nd placed Man City. It's a proper top of the table clash, which I think ahead of the season people wouldn't be calling it that.
No, and it's the repeat of the FA Cup final as well. City will want to get revenge on that after Eberechi scored the winner in that game. But Palace have been so good this season, and so have Manchester City, especially of late. I was at the 5-4 game against Fulham, and although Fulham came back into that game for 60 minutes of it, 55 minutes, City were rampant. They went 5-1 up, and they just looked like the team to beat, one of the best teams I've ever seen, one of the best performances I've ever seen. Foden looks back, and that's going to be massive for them. He was so important last time they won the league, and I just think that City could challenge Arsenal definitely this season.
I was just getting very distracted there by the darts. As mentioned, Box have many screens, and there's some good darts happening at the moment, so come and enjoy.
Yeah, I can't quite see the screen from here.
I've got a good angle. Right. Well, Pep Guardiola did not take today's press conference, but in his place was Kolo Touré, and Stan Smith, our reporter, was at the Manchester City training ground to hear from Touré himself.
Stan Smith here at the City training ground, where Pep Guardiola could not make it today, so we instead heard from Kolo Touré, who previewed Manchester City's away match against Crystal Palace.
I will say when you play for Man City and you work for Man City, you know that every competition is very important, and the target is to work hard and fight for those competitions and to win them, and we can't hide for that, definitely, and that's why every day we're working hard to make sure that we can put the team that who are in front of us under pressure, and try to just keep fighting and try to win the trophy that we can, definitely.
Yeah, the gap to Arsenal was 7 points only a couple of weeks ago. It's now 2 points. You've been there, you've done it. How much pressure are those Arsenal players under now, knowing City are breathing right behind their necks?
I think for us, we just focus on what we can do. You know, I think we know the quality of Arsenal. They have a really strong squad, a fantastic manager. But it's all down to us because we have the best manager in the world. He's doing an incredible job every day. His passion for the game. He loves the players, and he loves his staff. And we know that he will take us as far as we can to win that league. And for us, we just focus on what we can do really. You know, we don't focus on what Arsenal is doing. We want to get, every game is like a final for us.
Touré there talking about whether City can catch Arsenal, that title race. Of course, Touré, one of the Invincibles, so he knows how to win a title.
He knows how to win a title with Arsenal, possibly not City. But I just think that City has been so good, and Arsenal have shown themselves in previous years to be catchable. Maybe not this season, but there were so many seasons like that 22-23 season where they were running away with it, where they were ahead of City. But City know how to win titles. Pep Guardiola knows how to win titles, and I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
When it comes to February and February, they'll be coming back, and they'll be better than Arsenal at that point, maybe.
Well, both of these teams won midweek in Europe. I'm going to call it a 6-pointer. Give me your prediction.
Well, if you are calling it a 6-pointer, I think City will take all 6 points. Yeah. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with City as well. I think, I think City are looking back to their best, dare I say it, and I think they'll take points.
Back to their best, definitely.
Yeah. Well, next up on Sunday, we have Nottingham Forest versus Spurs. Now, Forest sit 17th while Spurs sit 11th. Spurs and Forest, again, both won in Europe this week. There's been some good results for English teams in Europe this week, I think it's fair to say.
If you're not Chelsea.
If you're not
definitely.
Chelsea, yeah. Are Spurs back in form?
Spurs definitely back in form, and they've also, or this game's away, but back in the home form, and that was a big problem for Thomas Frank's side. They won two on the bounce at home, and their away form's been very good. Up until recently, they had the best away form in the league. So this game away from home at Nottingham Forest, although Forest did have a good win against Basel in midweek, Spurs away are just really good, and I reckon that they'll just be that good consistently.
Right, so I feel like you've already given me your prediction there. Before we go to that, though, we heard from Thomas Frank earlier today in his pre-match press conference.
What would you say then has clicked between those three that you mentioned?
I think it's just the one simple thing, all three of them in form and sharp and confident at the same time. That helps something, definitely. And the relationship and the principles and the patterns we're working with also just getting better and better.
Right, give me your prediction.
Tottenham are going to win, I think. What do you think?
I'm going to go for a draw on this one, actually. I think it's going to be,
Not a bad prediction, I don't think. Not at all.
So it's at Forest, so yeah. Draw on that one. Right, next up. Oh, it's the Tain-Wér derby.
What a game.
What a game. Sunderland host their local rivals, Newcastle. And this one is a 2 p.m. kickoff. Now, this is the first time these two teams are meeting in the Premier League since 2016. It's almost 10 years.
It's a completely different size. Two completely different teams the last time they played each other. And you can't really say that about any other Premier League fixture this season, which is going to be really interesting. Obviously, Sunderland bought a load of players this summer. Newcastle bought a load of players since their new ownership came in. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the players kind of compete in this derby. Obviously, Dan Burns there, and he'll be well up for it. But in terms of the new players that come in, how will they take to this derby will be very interesting to see, I think.
And that was something that Eddie Howe touched on in his press conference earlier this week.
But as soon as the game ends and we focus on the next one, the importance of this game was, I had to make that clear to all of the players. And there'll be some new players that maybe don't understand it as well as others. So we'll use whatever methods we can in the next few days to make sure that everyone enters the pitch fully aware of the importance.
Okay, I want a prediction. Now, Sunderland are in 9th, Newcastle are in 12th, but there's only 1 point between the teams.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. There's 1 point between the teams, but the situations of the sides couldn't be far from different. Sunderland have had a brilliant start to the league in the view of their fans and everybody, and Newcastle haven't been as good as they really should be. But I reckon that Newcastle are going to win this one. They've won at home for the first time against Everton, and they're just a better team than Sunderland, I think, personally.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I see a Sunderland win at the Stadium of Light and absolute mayhem amongst the stands. I mean, they're going to love that, aren't they, if that happens?
Absolute limbs in the stands.
Absolute limbs. Yeah, there we go. Right, well, Monday night football. Manchester United are back in action on a Monday night. I mean, this keeps happening.
I remember the first time that they were on the Monday night and you and Dan were talking about it, going, the United never play on a Monday
night.
Never.
Here we are, 3 weeks later, yeah. They host Bournemouth. Now, United are in 6th at the moment, which has kind of gone a little bit under the radar, just in the sort of Man United narrative. But what have you made of their season as a whole and the fact that they are in 6th?
It really couldn't have gotten worse from last season. It really couldn't. But this is so much better than I personally thought it was going to be. The team that the formation that Amram consistently uses is starting to work. Some of the players he's bought, like Mbeumo, like Sesko, like Cunha, have fit more into the positions that he wants to play in, and it's working. They're going forward. They're really good. They score a lot of goals. At the back, there's still questions, and in midfield there are still questions about their team. But the biggest questions last season was they couldn't score goals, and this season, Mbeumo can't stop scoring goals. Cunha can't stop scoring goals. Bruno Fernandes scored a load of goals on Monday last week. On Monday, so I just think that Man United have improved so much, and I just didn't see that happening. So he's done a really good job, Amram, so far.
Yeah, like you say, the only way was up, and the lack of European football. And being out of other cups too. Yeah, it's definitely playing into their favour, but they are about to be quite heavily impacted by AFCON because they're going to lose Ahmad, they're going to lose Mazraoui, they're going to lose Mbeumo. How much do you think, we've kind of already touched on how good Mbeumo's been, but like those three players, losing them for a period of time? in a busy period of time.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's Ahmad and Mbeumo is the issue. He said in a press conference a few weeks ago that, if I don't play Brian, I play Ahmad there. And suddenly now there's no Ahmad or Mbeumo. So who is he going to have to play there? A lot of people are asking him about playing the youngsters, and maybe that's what he's going to have to do. And will that affect them detrimentally? It might do. They definitely won't have the experience that players like Mbeumo and Ahmad do. And the going forwards where they've been best, and if they're going to lose two of their biggest attackers, that's a real big problem for them. And it's the complete right side, because Mazraoui is also a right wing back / right centre back. So their right side's going to be completely gutted by one tournament for a month, possibly 2 weeks. If United get lucky, I'm sure the players won't want to only be there for 2 weeks. But it's going to be a big miss for them, and they're going into a busy period where there can be a lot of games. They're playing on Boxing Day, unfortunately, for Amorim and his squad. So. Yeah, I'm sure they'll struggle.
Don't overdo it on the turkey, lads. Well, we heard from Ruben Amorim earlier today ahead of this fixture.
Also, we're thinking of like the Africa Cup of Nations. Are those three?
We are still in conversation with the national teams. The game is just Monday. They are here, they are training, and we are trying to prepare all the scenarios to prepare the game.
Right, Naayan, give me a prediction for United versus Bournemouth.
As much as I've said United have been really good, and Bournemouth really haven't been that great. They've not won any of their last 5. I think Bournemouth are going to get back into the swing of things. And
you see it as a banana skin?
I do think this is going to be a banana skin. And I also just think the way that Bournemouth...
cherry skin. Is that a thing?
Skin? I think they do have skin.
Yeah.
So maybe United will slip in the cherry. Yeah. But I just think that Bournemouth are so good, and they've been so good earlier in the season. But the way they play, kind of the way they dominate the ball, might lend itself to playing against Manchester United. And so I think they're going to win, yeah.
I think United are going to win this one. I just see them getting a win before all the AFCON disruption. Let's go.
Would be good for Ruben Amorim to get a win right before there.
It would indeed. A huge boost of confidence going into this period of very, very busy fixture list.
Absolutely. And maybe not a goal from Brian and Mbeumo might help them get through the stage as well.
No, I mean, we have not spoken about, but Mason Mount scoring, I think that was like key to, he's going to be a big part of the next month or so.
And also, Amorim did hint at Benjamin Sesko possibly coming back for this one. So definitely could be goals from elsewhere.
Indeed. Right, well, the best of the rest. We've got Burnley against Fulham on Saturday. Give me a score prediction. Or give me a result prediction.
Yeah. Burnley, Fulham, that's a really difficult one. Fulham have had some half-decent performances of late, as I spoke about that City game. They were really good for the last 30 minutes. So I think they'll get a result against Burnley. I think they'll win.
You think a Fulham win?
Yeah. What about
I'm going to go for a Burnley win. Play devil's advocate.
You like doing that?
I do. It's boring if we go for the same thing. And why not? They need to win some of these against some of these bottom teams. So
definitely, if they're going to stay up, they have to beat Fulham. They definitely do.
For sure. Sunday, we've got West Ham against Aston Villa. West Ham sit 18th, Villa sit 3rd.
Yeah, and Villa have won 13 of their last 15 games.
Villa have been very impressive recently. I'm going with a Villa win.
Yeah, West Ham's form can't compare with Villa's at the moment. I think they're going to win too.
Right, then we've got Brentford, who host Leeds.
That is a bottom of the table clash if I've ever seen one. I think Brentford will win that. They weren't very good against Tottenham, but I just think that they've got the better of Leeds. They've been good this season. What about you?
I'll go for a draw. I feel like this could be a draw. Why not?
Yeah, definitely can be.
I mean, they all could be, right? What do we know? Yeah, cut that. Okay, where we'll go now. Right, well, that brings us to our regular feature, pint-sized partners. Who do you want to go for a pint with this week?
Definitely this week. I want to go for a pint with Heung-min Son. He came out and did a speech to the Spurs fans before their Champions League game. I was there covering the match, and it was just so good to see a player that won a trophy and left so quickly afterwards get to say goodbye to a team that he was with for a decade. And it was just brilliant the way he spoke, the way the fans all cheered when he came out. And also I spoke to a couple of the Spurs players in the mix zone about their chances to meet Son after the game, and also their time playing with him when they did play with him.
Xavi, you are the club's number 7. Today, the former number 7 came back, Son Heung-min. What was that like for you? Yeah, I didn't meet him personally, now a little bit, but yeah, I think he's a big legend of the club and a really pleasure for me to take this number and build up my own legacy, so really happy to meet him.
Did he speak to you personally or anything like
Yeah, no, we spoke a little bit, yeah.
Mohammed, what was it like to have your former captain, Son Heung-min, back here at the club?
He's a legend here, you know, feels really good to have him here. I wish we played together a bit longer. I just had a few games with him in the preseason, but it's really nice to have him here, and then he's a big example to all of us here on how to represent the club and do their best for the club all this while, you know. So it was a pleasure having him around the dressing room and then talking a little bit with him, you know. Yeah, just sad that we couldn't play together, but yeah, that's football. I wish him all the best, and then it was nice to see him.
Yeah, what else did he say to the players in the dressing room just now?
No, just keep going. It's a long journey, you know. It's a long season, you know. Just focus and keep doing what we are doing. Yeah.
For sure, because Sonny is a big legend for Tottenham. So when a guy like Sonny come, we have to give everything for him, for the fans, for the club, and for us as well. So.
Who is my pint-sized partner this week? Well, I'm going to go for two because I can. And I want to go for pints with two people this week. The darts at Ali Pali have kicked off. This guy, he's a big football fan, a big Man United fan. He was at the match actually on Monday night, having a good time. Hopefully he'll be having a good time at Ali Pali over the next month or so. And he also got nominated for Sports Personality of the Year this week, and rightly so, because he took that World Championship, I mean, basically a year ago, very early January.
Yeah.
He'll be looking to do it again this
I think I've guessed
this
it.
January. You got it. I mean, yeah, Luke Littler, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, I want to go for a pint with Luke Littler now that he is old enough to go for a pint. Like, I want to go for a pint with him.
He'd definitely be some good chat, and you get to throw some darts at a dartboard.
I would. I mean, yeah, he'd probably beat me.
Do you reckon?
And the other person I want to go for a pint with this week is another Sports Personality of the Year nominee, Chloe Clutch Kelly.
That's her full name now.
That is her full name. I hope she has changed it by default, because she should have done. I mean, what a ledge. Winning penalty at the Euros. She's had a year. What a year she's had. I mean, January, moving from Man City, well, you know, going on loan from Man City to Arsenal after that statement, then winning the Champions League with Arsenal, securing her permanent move to Arsenal, winning the Euros, kicking that penalty that won England the Euros. I mean, what more do you want?
Who'd have thought in January that Chloe Kelly, just 5 months later, would be a Champions League and Euros winner in the same summer? Just unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. And, I mean, they're all very worthy Sports Personality of the Year nominees. But, yeah, the two I'm picking out are Luke Littler and Chloe Kelly, and I'm going to go for a pint with both of them at the same time. I think that would be a great time. I reckon Chloe Kelly would enjoy playing some darts. I reckon Luke Littler would enjoy having a kickabout. I'd enjoy doing both. So there you go.
She'd do her run up to do a dart.
Yeah.
Get the leg up in the air.
The Chloe Kelly run up to throw a dart. That would be iconic. That would be very iconic. Well, as always, let us know in the comments who you want to go for a pint with this week. Who is your pint-sized partner? Let us know your predictions for the weekend as well. On Haters, we have a predictions quiz. Get involved, get stuck in. Tell us who is going to win. Well, that just about brings us to the end of our show. As always, Box Bar Piccadilly, come and check it out. We really do encourage you to do so. Naayan, thanks for joining me. It's been wonderful chatting the weekend's action with you.
Yeah, it's been great. Hopefully I'll be on for many more in the future.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
And have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching Pint Size Presses.